Countdown. Hello, welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show, hosted by yours truly, Willie Bragg. I hope each and every one of you are having a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and whatever your tradition is, or if you do not have a tradition, that this most of us are off today. So I hope that whatever happens with this year and the very next year, that we all had the best situation happening, regardless. So, anyway, enough of that. Okay, that was my little part right there. I feel like it's December 25th. Gonna make it a little bit festive. Yeah. So, anyway, as I said, I'm Willie Bragg, and welcome today to our show. And I found a campaign commercial that just came to my attention, and the name of the man is Brian Moreno, and I will tell you a little bit more about him as soon as we watch this. It's the name of the video is Gas, and there was a lot of it. It is definitely not in short supply. So with no further ado, I'll let you hear it, and I'll share a few words. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me go ahead and play it.
My parents came here for the American dream, a dream briefly crushed by Jimmy Carter. Failed policies causing massive inflation. Now Joe Biden and the socialists are rerunning the same playbook. They're spending trillions of dollars on his voters, money for illegals, tax cuts for New York liberals, and it's leading to crippling inflation. They're getting richer, you're getting poorer. I'll stop Biden before he destroys America. I'm Bernie Moreno, and I approve this message.
Atypical commercial from a rather typical Republican. So let me do this here. Hold on. Yes, Brian Moreno. Here we go. This guy, he's running for the U.S. Senate, and for trying to get Rob Portman's seat. Rob Portman is a Republican senator currently in the U.S. Senate, and he's stepping down. And so there's a Republican primary and a Democratic primary, mind you, going on. And right now, as it stands, he's one of the Republican contender, and he's running on this Trumpian brand. And I don't know too much about him, but he said a couple of things that kind of stood out. Joe Biden and the socialists. He needs to realize this. Joe Biden is not a socialist. Joe Biden, the Democratic Party is not a socialist party. I mean, it clearly isn't. We do not have a viable socialist party in this country. The Republican Party, which is the far-right party, I have to go and re-explain this, and I can't believe I have to. But the Republican Party is a far-right party. The Democratic Party is a center-right party. The two parties are pro-capitalist parties. Do I have to keep repeating this? The Republican Party supports capitalism. The Democratic Party supports capitalism. There is not a viable political party in the United States right now that is opposed to capitalism. I mean, you know, the libertarians are not socialists, but they're a third party. They support capitalism. The Constitutionalist Party, they are pro-capitalism. Okay, the Green Party. Now, you can. There may be some wiggle room about the Green Party. There are socialists within the Green Party. It's in the United States. It's probably it sort of acts as a social democratic party outside of the Democratic Party. Now I'm sitting there contradicting myself by saying that the Democratic Party is a capitalist party, and then I'm talking about it is almost the other social democratic party, referring to the Green Party. There are people in the Democratic Party that would probably like to swing the Democratic Party into a more socialistic direction, but they are a minority. They are a minority faction within the party. I wish that they were stronger, but they are not. And even those that are working within the Democratic Party, they got an uphill battle to turn the Democratic Party into a socialist party or a social democratic party or a labor party. That kind of a political party. I had to keep still explaining this to people like Moreno, Bernie Moreno. So anyway, he is totally ridiculous. He really is. And the thing about it is, let me go and take this, get my face back here. He talks about the Democrats in that sort of way, but the Democratic Party is not just a capitalist party. It is also, in a lot of ways, it is every bit as far right as a center-right party is in, let's say, Great Britain, like the Conservatives, or the Union for Popular Majority in France, or the Christian Democrats in Germany. The Democratic Party is more like them than they are the Labour Party, the Social Britain, or the Labour Party of Britain, the Social Democrats in Sweden, or the Socialists in France. They're more like the center-right than they are the center-left. Now, he talks about the trillions of dollars being spent. Well, both parties spend trillions of dollars. And, I don't even want to hear it from Republicans when they talk about, well, we're just going to get spending under control because, the Democrats just wildly spend. Yeehaw! Well, you know what? Republicans wildly spend, too. They spend on the same thing that the Democrats spend on, but there's a few pet projects where they may spend on other things. And same thing with the Democrats. The Democrats have their little pet projects that they're going to emphasize where they're going to do the spending. So don't ever fall for the propaganda or the lies about Republicans being more fiscally responsible, because they clearly are not. I mean, both parties spend on mostly corporate welfare. They are both the parties of corporate welfare. They're both the party of the military-industrial complex, which means more money for defense contractors and all of that. So, when the Republicans promise to tighten belts, they really mean that they're just going to reprioritize their spending elsewhere. And the Democrats will say, well, we're going to reprioritize spending here when we get back in power. So they do this tit and tat. And I call it Tuesday. So that's what's going on. Now he talks about runaway inflation. Here's a news flash about inflation. Inflation gets unfairly lumped with Jimmy Carter. And yeah, we did have really runaway, out of control inflation during the Carter years. I was a young kid in the 70s. I remember that. Remember that very well. But you know what? We've always had inflation. Reagan didn't just come in and inflation just went away. I mean, I'll give you an example. The house that my mom and dad lived in northeastern North Carolina, a very rural area, Hertford County, North Carolina. The house they bought a 1975. They bought a typical 3-bedroom ranch house. That was kind of the thing at the time. It was kind of the kind of house that most middle class people lived in at the time. And the house back then cost $18,600. Well, they had that house paid in about 10 years, a 30-year mortgage. What they ended up overpaying, and inflation actually helped them pay that house up. Actually, in 9 years, 1984, the house was paid for. That same house that they bought for $18,600 in northeastern North Carolina would be worth close to $200,000 today, which is the price of the average home here in this state. So, inflation did not just get under control when Reagan came along and all that. Housing prices just continued to go up and up and up. Healthcare, we've always had healthcare inflation, but that also keeps going up and up, and it doesn't go, sure as hell doesn't go down. Prescription drugs get more expensive than ever. Rent and housing prices just stays on the upswing, doesn't ever go down. So when you hear people like Moreno talking about getting the prices down, he's being full of crap. As far as the inflation is concerned. I mean, inflation is here to stay with us. I don't know where people have gotten the idea that inflation for many years were put under control. It clearly wasn't. Gas prices? Yeah, I got news for you. The highest gas prices I ever remember took place during the George W. Bush years while he was in the White House. And I remember having to worry if I was going to go and eat one day, or may have to go skip a day without eating because of the high gas prices. Because I always had to travel. So, I'm not happy with the gas prices now, but you know what? It's not as if Joe Biden was sworn in and the gas prices went up already. That's not what happened. What happened was that, and I'm not here to defend Joe Biden. I got a lot of problems with Joe Biden. I sure as hell do. But it's not that he came in and policies right away make the gas prices go up. And gas prices will more than likely stay up. It will probably go down. It goes down. It goes in up and down cycles, regardless of who's president most of the time. Although I will say that the Bush-Cheney doctrine in the Middle East did make the gas prices go up. So, Brian Moreno running for the U.S. Senate, he and Mitch McConnell will work together to make the poor poorer and to make things worse than they actually are. So, he's just another suit and tie politician, and apparently he's a car dealer salesman. Is that really what you want in the Senate? He looks more like a used car salesman than anything else. And they parade that they're a businessman. I run a business. Like, I'm supposed to be impressed when a candidate running for office and say, well, I'm a businessman. Like, oh, well, he's a businessman. He must know what he's going to do. No, if you're a businessman running for a political office, I am less likely, regardless of party, I am less likely to go and vote for such a person. Because, that's the problem with Washington, D.C. We got too many business people running Washington, D.C. I don't know if we need another one. We got too many corporate attorneys, people who actually starts businesses and what have you. And don't give me this notion, well, they're a job creator. I never heard a poor man, I never heard anybody getting hired by a poor man. That kind of logic doesn't work, because actually poor people are job providers, because poor people buy shit, and so they do provide jobs. Getting a job from a poor man. Poor people's what makes the economy work. And the thing about it is that the poor and middle class, we don't need the wealthy people around. Oh, there's some super billionaires and everything. I don't know how much money this Moreno guy makes, but I mean, I am for abolishing the concept of billionaires from our economy. There's not anybody alive that should have $1 billion plus. I will even go as far as say nobody should have over $100 million. But and push comes to shove, I don't think I would actually. If I could, I would make it no more than $10 million, because just think of all that money, or if it's reinvested back into the American people, how much better we would be. So anyway, that's just my say about that. We have a chat line here, and Les Bones, thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. Yes, hot retarded chicks. Ha, ho, ho, ho. Absolutely. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you both. Great seeing y'all up here. And I'm about ready to take care of some Christmas deeds. Unfortunately, I have to go to work tonight. It's rather unfortunate, but the wonderful thing is that I'm going to have Christmas dinner a little bit, and I'll have maybe 1 or 7 or 10 glasses of wine, and I'll be going to sleep, and I'll sober up, being ready for work, and not having to get in trouble because it'll all be dried up out of my system. So, anyway, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree with what I have to say, we'll comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and, in fact, utilize it, because we are the muckrakers of our time. Feel free also to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're kept up to date by yours truly. I am Willie Bragg. And until next time, I'm wishing each and every one of you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and now I can say it very soon, hopefully a way, way better 2022. I'm not going to hold my breath, but, still just the same. I hope that we have a very good 2022 just the same. We'll try to make the best out of this 2022 that's coming up. Take care.